old fellow like me, it's a long way to the lectern. And then the Toastmaster abandons me, and I'm up here by myself. I reflect back to the years when I first started, and that flashback brings this trapped. Ladies and gentlemen, our voices speak, but it's our bodies that communicate. When a good speaker speaks, he has three things to offer. He offers his material, he offers us vocal variety, and he offers us his gestures. And of these three, it is his gestures that the audience will use to judge his integrity, his credibility, and his honesty. And it is no different for us as aspiring speakers. But it's not that difficult to learn. All we have to do is to be honest with our material, to really analyze what we are saying, and to become emotionally involved in the presentation. And if we do this, then our bodies will begin to communicate. Today I would like to share 3 examples of how this will work for you. The first example, and watch the following sentence series. This morning, I went to see my stockbroker. She was really excited. She was talking about a product called Goldex. They had discovered a tremendous vein of gold. It was proven, and now the stock was going to quadruple. Her recommendation, buy Goldex. Now, how many of you are interested in going out tomorrow and looking at Goldex? I don't think many. And the reason may be that you just had a bit of discomfort with that series of statements. And the reason for that is I made next to no eye contact with the audience. Eye contact is essential. It is what binds the audience to the speaker. And it's not that difficult to achieve. All we have to do is look at one person, deliver a sentence or a phrase, and then another person to deliver another phrase, and so on, back and forth through the audience. Then you will bind the audience to the speaker. For the second example, let's take something that is a little more dramatic. And again, watch this sentence series. He stepped out of the alley, he grabbed my throat and began choking me. In desperation, I punched with all my strength. Now let's think about what I said and think about what is happening for a minute. When someone grabs you by the throat and starts choking you, you have a minute or two to live. You bet you're going to be desperate. And your voice needs to reflect it when you say, in desperation. And this punch with all my strength. If that was all my strength, my middle name's Petunia. You need to get the emotion into it. So when that statement comes out, it needs to be, in desperation, I punched with all my strength. And when you punch with your fist, you punch with your voice. Now, your vocal variety and your gestures is saying what your voice said. Now you have communication. And for the third example, let's take something totally different. And again, watch the following statements. Silently, the sun rose and the day began. It might sound fine to you, but I think we can do a little better than that. again, if we analyze it, silently should be silent. And the sun rose. Have you ever seen the sun rise that fast? And when we look at the orientation, is the sun here? This is where I would hold an apple if I was eating it. The sun is much, 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 much farther away. The sun is here. And it rises slowly. That statement should probably be silent. The sun rose, and the day began. And the two long pauses, the first after the silently, and the second after the sun rose, simply add to the silence, and they add to the slowness with which the sun rises. Fellow Toastmasters, if you are truthful with your material, if you think about what you really say, and if you put your heart and your soul into what you are saying, then your voice will project and your body will communicate. And when this happens, that is when you will motivate an audience. That is when you will persuade an audience, and that is when you will motivate them to the nth degree. Madam Toastmaster, Master Toastmaster.